parent, this might interest you. We have behavioral therapist Marty Calder here to talk to us about what to do, I guess, when things get too rough or competitive.
Right. So kids love to play, and especially young boys and young kids under 10, 11. I mean, all people like to play, but so they get a little rough sometimes, and there's a lot of people out there like, oh, we're being too restrictive. Some schools have banned things like tag and that kind of stuff because of the rough play. And so I just wanted to kind of talk about maybe some boundaries we can set and what looks like rough play and what's too much for kids.
Yeah, so where is that line kind of drawn between kids just being kids and having fun, and then where it gets a little too much, a little rough?
Right. So kids don't have a good idea of boundaries, right? They're kids, so they need some help with that. And so one, if it doesn't look fun anymore for a child, so if they're upset or sad or hurt, it's gone too far. And you can kind of monitor that as you're watching play. One of the things is that we just don't, especially like a school system, we don't just let kids kind of do whatever and they just go crazy. They have some boundaries and where they can go, and making sure it's open space, not running through things where the kids can get hurt. And then the kids could always be able to get out of it. So if a child is like, I don't want to play anymore, that other kids aren't holding him or grabbing him, putting him down. I had some issues like that when I was a kid, even for my size, still kind of where I didn't want to be in situations. And so we got to have parents and others have opportunities for the kids to come out of that play.
Do you think it's important, because if parents aren't there, teachers aren't there, to teach a kid like that it's okay to leave a situation like that?
Yeah, so one of the things that kids have a hard time with is they don't want to disappoint their friends. They don't want to be left out of the group. And so before everybody goes to play, just be like, okay, now if somebody doesn't want to play, you know, whatever, they can say time out. They can say, I got to go in to check on something. I want to get a snack. Giving them some things that they can do to get out of the situation rather than just crying. You know, I used to cry to my mom when my brother used to be too rough with me. That's not always the best way to do it. You want to get the kids out of the situation before it evolves into that.
And probably also making sure your child's not the one being too rough on someone else also.
Right. That's the big key, that kids, like I said, don't have boundaries for things. So if you have a really large kid that's your son, and be like, okay, you need to be a little more gentle with the little guys and not just throw them over the fence.
Yes, that makes sense. So if anyone has questions, how can they get in contact with you?
They can call me on my cell phone at 208-604-0008.
Great, thank you so much for coming on, Marty. And still to come this morning, get ready for a sweet tooth as we take a stop in Rigby to highlight the caramel tree on this month's Made in Idaho.